Hi, I'm Ben with Apt, and today we have the brand new 9.7-inch iPad Pro for 2016. So Apple's billing this as the iPad that can replace your laptop or your personal computer. And while that may not necessarily be true, this is a great iPad. So let's start with some of the new features on it. So from the outside, it looks a lot like an iPad Air 2. It shares a very similar body size. It has a very similar screen size. But some of the features on this really make this the best iPad that Apple has ever made. Looking around the outside, we have a standard iPad body. There's nothing really that different about it that we've seen before. The only differentiation between this and an iPad Air 2 is going to be the extruded camera on the back, as well as that little smart connector that they've got for their smart keyboard case and the place where you can kind of put your Apple Pencil where it will magnetically stick. So other than that, it looks a lot like an iPad Air 2. We also have 4 speakers on this one, opposed to the 2 or even the 1 on some of the other iPads. And with those 4 speakers, you get a lot of volume out of this, which is great because if you're watching movies or if you're doing something where you want to have a lot of volume, these speakers are actually going to pump out a decent amount of volume for a small iPad. And they're very closely integrated with iOS. So if you rotate the iPad or if you're moving it around, it's going to detect that and it's going to give you the best possible stereo sound. So this iPad features a 9.7-inch display, which is a good deal smaller than that 12.9-inch display that you'll find on its bigger brother, the iPad Pro. And a lot of the reasons that Apple decided to make this smaller was for portability. That 12.9-inch is pretty big to take around with you, and this is just ideal for carrying around with you or throwing in a backpack. It's more on par with an iPad Air or iPad Air 2 size. So one of the features that they have incorporated into this display is called True Tone. And True Tone is a pretty cool feature. It takes in ambient light through the screen. There's hidden sensors. It takes in ambient light and your background environment, and it's going to match the white balance of the screen to the room you're in. And it makes it a much more natural viewing experience. It's kind of like taking a white piece of paper and reading it in whatever room you're in, rather than having those blue LEDs from backlighting the screen kind of shining in your eyes. So it's a really natural viewing experience. So you have a similar pixel density as that 12.9-inch iPad, but on this one you're getting a 40% less glare than the iPad Air 2. You're getting 25% more color saturation, and you're getting 25% more brightness. So the screen quality on this is really fantastic. The other big change to this iPad Pro is the camera. As we flip onto the back here, you'll immediately notice a two-tone flash, which is a brand new thing for any iPad. No iPad before has had a flash. The camera itself is also raised off of the body, where every other camera has been flush with the iPad body. This camera is the same camera you're going to find in the iPhone 6s. It's a great camera. You get 12 megapixels, you get 4K video, you get image stabilization and focus pixels. So you're going to take really fantastic photos on this. And while you might think it's a little silly to take a photo with an iPad, the photos you take will look great. And if we flip over to the front, we now have a 5 megapixel front-facing camera with a Retina flash, the same kind of technology you'll find on the new iPhones. And so that's great for video conferencing, FaceTiming, or just taking pictures with the front-facing camera. So jumping over to the internal specs, we have an A9X chip by Apple with the M9 coprocessor, and that's the same processor configuration you're going to find in the larger iPad Pro, the 12.9-inch. The one difference between the two, though, is you're going to lose about half the RAM. So you're going from 4 gigs of RAM on the 12.9-inch down to 2 on this. So you are going to see a little bit of performance decrease, especially when you're doing multitasking or you have multiple windows open, but this is still an incredibly fast iPad. You'll be able to do anything from, editing 4K video, surfing the web, streaming video. Everything you do is going to be very fast because of that A9X chip. One thing to mention on this, though, about the productivity is if you have multiple windows open on this screen, it is quite a small screen. So on that 12.9-inch iPad, when you have 2 applications running at once, you have a lot more real estate to work with. But when you go down to that smaller screen, it's not as effective as it is on the larger model. So overall, all the features of the new iPad Pro really add up to the best iPad Apple has ever made. You have faster LTE performance, you have a better camera, a better screen, and a really fast A9X chip in it. So you're going to be able to do anything you want to do with this iPad. That being said, it is still a little bit limited based on the App Store for professional-grade apps. So if you're using your computer to do things like advanced photo editing and video editing, this may not be the replacement for the computer you're looking for, but it is the best iPad you can get. So if you're looking to upgrade from an iPad 2 or an older version, this is the best iPad currently out in my opinion, and it is nice and portable so you can take it around with you. So that's the iPad Pro 9.7 inch. To learn more about this model or to purchase it, check out the link in the description below. And let us know, what do you think about this iPad? Do you think it's a great laptop replacement? Do you think it's just a great iPad? Be sure to leave a comment below and like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel.